All right, we're back with more of the Saboteur. Got some time left on the how long to beat counter, but it feels like we're nearing the natural end of the game. We'll see. Keep doing story missions here. It says there's supposed to be a guy here for me to get a car, but I guess they left the catacombs, which makes sense. Oh, sure, Burgess.
You are well? Hard work is good for the soul.
Oops. Sorry. Gotta keep track of every game we play. There's different controls here.
Nice wheels, by the way.
Merde. I just bought that car.
Half an hour? Wow. So there's more than that left. Okay. Let me see. Go ahead and just do that, but I'm curious if there's anything particularly exciting in terms of side content that's even left over in the game. Looks like my only side quest contact that's remaining is this one. I'll do it since it's the only one that's left. I guess, and maybe I'll mention this in Discord, I'll make an announcement in it, but I think I can probably do with a 2-hour warning going forward in any games we play. Or if it's particularly short, like a 1 hour, 30-minute warning. Yesterday with Katana Zero, I switched games with like 4 minutes left in the credits. I didn't know the credits were about to pop up like 30 seconds later. Yeah. Blow up Nazi shit. Twist my arm.
Haben Sie Reisepapiere? Herzeigen! Papiere scheinen in Ordnung zu sein.
Guten Tag, gents.
I'm guessing I passed a point of no return at some point that locked out, because there were a bunch of other side quests. Maybe they become available again after the final story mission, but I try to avoid doing side content post-credits. So I'll do what I can here. I'm not going to push all the way to the how long to beat, but I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of the side content, as I don't think I've touched any side missions. Sorry. Thanks. Yeah. Oh, Margot.
Ah, Mr.
Interested in
Devlin.
her anyway.
How good of you to come.
What can I do for you, Madame Bonaire?
You are a young man, Mr. Devlin, and I am a very old woman, so let me tell you something of the ways of the world.
I'm listening.
Wars are not fought with bullets and bombs alone, Mr. Devlin. In order to destroy a society, one must first destroy its culture. Art and literature can become powerful weapons in such a battle. The Germans understand this truth better than anyone.
I'm not sure I follow.
Before the invasion, I worked as an art restorer at the Louvre. I have watched in horror as the Nazis plunder our national treasures and defile our cultural heritage right under our very noses.
People are getting killed out there, Mom. What's so damned important about a bunch of paintings?
Ah, don't play the fool, Devlin. Art culture is the soul of the French people. Without it, this nation will not survive.
What do you want me to do about this?
A Nazi general by the name of Loder has organized a series of book burnings in Paris. Thousands of rare and priceless volumes have already been destroyed. I want you to put an end to this atrocity.
Perhaps I'll compose a nasty poem in the general's honor.
A bullet in the head will suffice. General Loder deserves no less, I assure you.
Cool.
Good day, Mr. Devlin.
Hey, Weapons, how's it going? Alright, yeah, well, the side quest content seems like it's pretty... I mean, I don't know what the actual mission's going to be, but the story definitely fits into that. You're doing the French Resistance, what do you do? Oh yeah, Nazis stealing art. That makes sense. I like this idea of GTA-like game, but you're not a monster. I guess I just don't know how you solve for the stealing cars element, because it's pretty important that you have access to a vehicle in the open world at all times.
Maybe a new car, yes?
I could see somebody doing like a game that's inspired by GTA but isn't necessarily like a city, and the vehicles aren't necessarily cars, right? Like you could still have big open map. Oh, book burning. Yeah, I guess book burning also is another thing you could do here.
Holy Christ. Margaret didn't say anything about this book-burning bastard driving a fucking tank.
Kill General Loder. See if I can see him from back here. Not with that.
There will be no place for deviant.
This is a Rockstar style game where you're in the French Resistance and resisting the Nazis. It's pretty cool.
The mark of a good citizen. Bad civilian hygiene, they call it.
That works. Mission complete. Escape the Nazis. Rose Valland, real art curator and printer, just to save thousands of works. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so I'm guessing the areas that are still black and white. Sorry, lady. The areas that are still black and white must be connected to side quest content. Totally meant to do that. Calculated. Alright. Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious what other side quests are inaccessible now. What kind of historical context they plunder. They mine. Open world activities? Yeah, interesting. Like blowing up towers will get you to have an area not be in black and white anymore.
We have not a second to waste. They have taken my cherished Renoir and many others.
Hold on, don't get your panties in a bunch. When was the last time you saw this Renoir fella?
He has been dead for 30 years.
It's not much of a bloody emergency then, is it?
Must you always try my patience? The Germans are smuggling masterworks out of museums all over the country.
Ah, the culture war. Is that it?
The ringleader is a Reichsminister official named Bachmann. I want him in a box.
A box?
A closed casket. I don't want his own wife to recognize him.
Shouldn't you be in the kitchen baking up some crumpets or something? It's just that sweet old ladies shouldn't get mixed up in this sort of thing. It doesn't seem proper.
Oh, spare me your chauvinistic bullshit. Herr Bachmann will be traveling past the Grand Palais in a bulletproof limousine. You will need heavy firepower to penetrate the car's armor. But that shouldn't stop a resourceful man like yourself.
Right. Yes, Mom.
You know, it would be sweet. Sitting over here trying to think like what would be a game that could be structured like a GTA game, but not actually have cars. A reboot GTA game where you like drive around the inside of the computer, which is like a city, but you don't have to carjack anybody because you could just like summon a vehicle. I feel like they made a couple reboot games, but they were kind of terrible. It's a really cool setting. It's too bad. There's like a Netflix revival that's really bad too. There's a summon vehicle button in Cyberpunk. Interesting. The elevator to the roof.
Halt! Sperrgebiet! Gehen Sie woanders lang!
Okay. Okay, yep. That makes sense. Oh, no, it's this tower guy.
Let's dance, Fritz.
Dafür bringe ich dich um!
Why can your vehicle teleport and drive itself to you, but not drive itself to your objective? Alright, let's try to get in here. No, this is not Cyberpunk. It's a Rockstar style game called the Saboteur. Fighting Nazis. Wait, but
Subversive Personen umgehend im nächsten Parteibüro.
I think this is correct, but I haven't paid close enough attention. But I think when you take a Nazi uniform, even if you have the red armband, it's not highlighted in red anymore. It seems like a good creative decision. Part of that whole don't make the Nazis look cool. Don't let the player cosplay as a Nazi, right?
Bestätigen Sie bitte. Der Wagen des Generals wartet auf Bestätigung.
That works. Oh, Panzer Shrek, the anti-tank. This one. Oh, I have no ammo left on this gun. That's potentially extremely bad.
Posten 5. Bestätigen Sie Entwarnung. Gauner nähert sich der Ecke.
Yeah. Too bad I never managed to stay awake in German class. All right, here comes the punter now.
Kill the general. Here comes the general. That works.
Bringt den General hier raus, jetzt!
Probable assassin. Probable is one word for it, yeah, that's fair. I haven't done Minecraft on the stream yet. No, it's on the voting spreadsheet, so once it wins the vote, we'll play it. Peak condition is beating the Ender Dragon. I have a, oh god, this is bad. I have a community server for Minecraft that folks are welcome to join and build stuff on. That's what I'm going to end up playing on when it wins the vote. Oh, they never detected me. Sweet. Thanks, Leon. You know, the idea is folks are going to play on the community server for several months or years, and then once it wins the vote, I'm going to set my spawn point somewhere really far away from the default spawn and kind of work my way back towards all the stuff people built. Hey, it worked! Like the third person ever to vote that way. Maybe not an assassin, just targeting the car. The general is collateral damage. They can't be sure. I guess I'll finish Margot's side quest chain. Why not? That seems like a good thing to do, and then push through the main story after that. You're on console, I see. Oh, if you ever get access to a PC, it's available. Racking your brain for World War II Paris stories to see if they've included them.
Your reputation is well deserved, Monsieur Devlin. You have given these barbarians reason to fear.
I love that concept of creative scaffolding for making games.
Treasures when one is constantly looking over one's own shoulder.
One might think it would be difficult to conquer Europe with one's head up one's arse. Still, that maniac in Berlin managed to pull it off.
The Nazis have conquered our country, but not the hearts and minds of our people. When the music of freedom rings throughout the city, the dream of liberty will live again.
Are you off your meds again, Granny?
The Nazis have been using the Louvre as a stage from which to broadcast their vile propaganda throughout the city.
You want me to knock out that tower?
We have had enough of that fascist drivel, polluting our airways. It's time we called a different tune, don't you think?
Your point is well made, madam. It's time somebody turned the dial.
Hey, I was actually saying earlier, okay, so we gotta go to the big arch. We gotta go to the Eiffel Tower, which we haven't done yet, and if I had to guess, I'm gonna guess that the final mission is gonna be the Eiffel Tower. Because what's more epic than that? I thought we'd go to the Louvre. Louvre. We're supposed to make like a mild noise at the end of it. She doesn't just mention it. That's cool. Technically, yes. I was near the Eiffel Tower, and we've had a couple missions that drove near it. We haven't had any cause to climb it yet, though. I kind of like the idea that if you're basing your video game on something, it doesn't even have to be history, it could be like a work of fiction or something, that there are natural parts of the story that translate well to either a final boss or a final confrontation. Because that's true for adaptation in general, right? Depends on how cheesy you want to be. But I feel like that sort of cheese is more acceptable in a video game. I haven't played any of the Assassin's Creed games, but I imagine that they've got a similar pattern. Like whichever Assassin's Creed game takes place in ancient Egypt, I could see some of the final missions being centered around like Sphinx, Great Pyramid. Didn't replace my gun last mission, but...
That's better.
Because I've got 2 scope carbines, which is useless. Well, oh, really? I guess I thought Ubisoft had more restraint. Sniper ammo. It's fine. Guys with bazookas, cool. Zeppelin near here. Sure, but if you get a game that's just about like normal life in ancient Egypt, I imagine most people and most targets aren't in these like big burial monuments. Unless if you're wanting to put people in pyramids constantly. It would make sense for like a mission or 2 to be there, but if it's every 3 missions, that seems like there's cooler stuff going on in ancient Egypt other than just the pyramids, right? Secret War by Hastings is a good history of espionage in World War II. Cool. Do. Climb into this thing. You just want me to blow this up. Destroy the transmission tower. Okay. And it said I need bigger sabotage.
Join an ancient fraternity destined to lead the world into the future.
It's going well. Hey, that works. Okay. Intel officer at Pearl Harbor involved in code cracking and deception midway. Neat. It's kind of interesting that the stealth system makes you want to walk up really close to them and then sprint past them and then walk again. Which is like the most suspicious thing you could possibly do, I feel like. No one to be involved in all of this. Yeah, but it works as a video game, absolutely. Looks like we don't get a wrap-up discussion with Margot. It's too bad. Pretty much opens that area. I don't have a mission marker now, so let me see. Hold on. Previous mission. Cool, they give you this whole thing. I'll find you. Maybe I needed to keep doing side missions before it lets me progress. Oh, I see what you mean, Leon. Gotcha. So that's also true to real life, it sounds like. Checkered flag is a racing mission, right? That I've been neglecting the whole time. Usually if it's gray, it's not mandatory. I could go to it to see. Hey, they replaced the guard up on the tower.
That's not gonna pound out.
Well, lady, sorry, lady. You went the wrong way when you had your reaction animation. Sorry.
You look familiar, son. Have I seen you somewhere before? Me? No. Must have been some other bloke. You look just like that Irishman. The one I saw drive in the Grand Prix.
That's me.
That boy had talent. Maybe enough to take home the cup. I would have taken that damn cup if that cheating bastard hadn't shot me fucking tire out. I mean, if that were me. But it wasn't. No, of course not, son. That Dirker, he's a spineless Nazi worm just the same. A scum like him give my country a bad name. Amen. So I hear you're organizing a race in the city. Pull your car up to the line, son. If you finish the race in time, you can meet up and race with my friends in the countryside, yeah?
Find a suitable car to race in. Enter the city to start. Race. Seems pretty dangerous. Uh-oh. Still count as a race if I have to stop at a checkpoint? Oh right, I'm disguised. This is a bad idea.
Sofort stehen bleiben.
Thank
Junge
you.
Papiere.
Thank you. Thank you.
On me way then.
It's fine. I'm guessing I'm supposed to have that checkpoint liberated or something before I do this race.
Hit something, didn't I?
It's fine. Liberate the rest of Paris first, just in case. Definitely wasn't going to make it anyway, but... Just like driving straight there. You took too long. Let's try again. One more try. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Like, it seems like that actually matters for a lot of the main story quests, that if you, like, destroy the Nazi towers... Sorry, lady. If you destroy the Nazi towers and stuff, you just don't have to deal with them during those missions. Fewer snipers coming at you. It's kind of a cool idea of trying to fight back against an occupied city. Sorry. Trying to do a race. See, it's fine. I may have cut that woman in half that I accidentally slammed into with the car, but we'll be fine. Nazis are okay with that. Everyone you run over is retroactively a Nazi. Leadfoot, win the time trial. Unlock the silver claw in the garage. Cool. Sweet. It's a fun way to think about it. Anything bad you do is non-canon. I guess I'll finish these race missions, since I still don't have a map marker for the next level, and if I haven't got anything by that point, I guess I'll Google it. Or if anyone knows, I think this, I just finished the first mission of Act 3. I was how to access the second mission if it's just dependent on, like, driving around until someone sends you a message or something. It's possible, yeah. There have been other missions that have been triggered by a message. Ooh, new car. Sorry.
We don't much like foreigners around here.
That's all right.
I don't like slack-jawed sheep fuckers.
Come again?
I'm not out here to socialize. I came to race.
You talk bold enough. But can you drive?
Only one way to find out.
We will see. Pull your car up to the start line when you're ready to race.
Ah, yes. Was this one an actual race? Okay.
Suck exhaust, mate!
It's complaining about the stock exhaust? It's nice to actually be able to see the other racers at the start. So they definitely handled the story races separately from these optional ones. Suck exhaust. I don't think I saw the game fade out, so I wonder where it went to set up all of these like racing borders and stuff. Maybe during the conversation it was loading it. That's kind of cool. Same super dramatic music. This is just the racing music that they requested. I feel like these cars wouldn't handle a little ramp like that very well in real life. Yeah, sure. I think these are largely Nazi races. Nazis are most of the participants, or definitely most of the audience. Wouldn't handle driving in a straight line on a flat road in real life. They look like Pinewood Derby cars. This game has the easiest handbrake of any racing game I've played, other than this is a racing game. Pressing the handbrake basically just means make a sharp turn. There's no control of it beyond that. There are Pinewood Derby cars shaped the way they are because of nostalgia for this design back when the Boy Scouts are first getting started, or is this like a particularly efficient shape to make a thing that rolls down a hill? You want join date, Starboy. What becomes Formula One racers? Oh, okay. Speed Demon
I took
unlocked.
the liberty of booking your seat on the next flight to Saarbrücken. Pack light and don't be late.
Oh wait,
I'll be waiting for you.
I literally had to do the side quests.
Skylar.
Cool. All right. Well, good. Wouldn't have been the 30-minute VOD anyway. That's nice. Still haven't gotten my confirmation that Skylar's a Nazi. I might be wrong at this point. That's also possible, yeah. They're just giving you a chance to go around and dick around in town until the timer elapses, and then you get the message by default. It's interesting, like, I think the messenger is supposed to always be somebody who runs up to you and hands it to you, but you can spend a lot of this game without ever getting out of the car, so you get it kind of like a text message. Sorry.
Where's Kessler?
Back at work.
Doppelsieg then. Back to the fucking beginning.
Now what? You need to put a leash on this one.
I am going with you.
You're in over your head, darling.
I'd not argue with the lass if I were you.
It's your funeral.
What's the speed record for F1 now?
I'll put you down as close as possible to Doppelsieg without getting my arse shot off. Once you've got the Kesslers, return to the airstrip for extraction.
We'll be there.
Okay, maybe she's not a Nazi. Dang, that's pretty fast. Deja vu.
We need to move. The crowds must have seen us coming in.
Will have a non-sniper gun. It's kilometers. Okay, that makes more sense. Seems bad.
It's a wicked lass. Fries just like she's... No, never mind. It's Skylar. Give him hell, sweetheart.
I assume you have a plan for getting into Doppelsieg?
You're looking at it.
Whoa. Doo-doo. Oh man, can't always tell whether one of those is going to be going to explode on me or not.
That was cool. She's on our side. The factory's over there.
Hey, back here.
There, we're in.
Alarm! Alarm!
Wir haben ein Sicherheitsproblem.
You try to tuck and roll, dude. Oh, Terror MP60, yeah. Yes, please. Oh. Nice dive there. Probably more ammo at the entrance. Yeah. Milana, you learn the... Why did they change the grenade? I feel like it's easier to throw it with the stick on the end. I know nothing about any of that though, so... Guessing the modern grenade can fly further? You tried.
Who the fuck did I piss off now?
Size and weight of baseballs. Under the assumption that 18-year-old men would know how to throw them. That's funny. It's also kind of sinister. Similar, smaller, way less without the stick. Transport more grenades per box, that makes sense. What are you doing? I appreciate you trying. Oh god. Yep, that makes sense. Video games. Exactly. That guy that was shooting us through the wall wasn't even meant to be encountered. Now this one's
what's wrong?
a lab facility. Gotta have our showdown with Dierker.
Where is your father?
There's a laboratory on the other side of the compound, hidden inside the motorworks.
Take the girl and go. I'll find Kessler and meet you at the airstrip.
But what about...
I said go!
He's gonna sabotage the place. You really hated that chair.
It isn't over yet.
Makes sense.
Castle's here somewhere. It's time to finish this.
I'm super dead. And they immediately react.
Dr. Kessler, I've come to get you out of here. Open this door.
Somehow I knew I'd be seeing you again.
I got you into this mess, Doctor. I've come to see you out.
Maria?
On our way to the airstrip. We'll meet her there.
Then there is just one thing left to do. I cannot leave without destroying the cyclotron. Come with me. Hurry!
Please don't get yourself killed, dude. It's like the ultimate weapon.
Cover me while I override.
It's kind of surprising to give you so many of them at the end of the game.
It's not happening. Why you're shooting me?
Not realistic today either. They want to give you commensurate firepower to go up against the terrorist squad, I think. Oh shit.
The cyclotron is here.
Oh god! Coming. But I think it started as probably just like a really hard to unlock final weapon perk, borderline joke weapon. But then these final missions, they just give you a lot of access to it.
I spent years designing.
Ridiculously stable.
It's the only one of its kind in existence. It must be destroyed.
It's a good time for us to chat.
The power they seek. I will burn this laboratory to the ground.
Right then. Let's blow this shithole straight to hell.
Go to the other control panel.
Yeah, I feel the thing would melt through your hands if it was real, right?
Destroy the cooling towers. As the device overheats, the protective barriers will drop, exposing the core.
So like, shit, the game's called the Saboteur. You gotta sabotage something at the end. You can't just blow up a chair you're mad about.
All set. We must flip the switches simultaneously. Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Flip it. Go now. Destroy the first cooling tower. The barrier is down. Hurry.
Sean has really strong arms.
I need a moment to lower the next one.
Just long enough for me to fight the guys who just spawned.
Quickly, Sean.
I'm going as fast as I can.
You aren't worth a fucking air biscuit.
I don't really like the terror guards because I feel like this game is fun because enemies die in one hit if you land it. You get like a headshot. Stop that. You suck. You have to go up and around. It's literally just this particular enemy. There's a version of it where you can shoot their helmet off, so you hit them in the helmet, and that knocks the helmet off, and then you hit them in the head and they die. I think that that's fine, as far as keeping things reasonable. Yeah, just add armored guys.
Overheating. The shield is beginning to retract. The core is exposed. Destroy it, Devlin.
On it. Can I not be on fire anymore, please?
The shooting started.
Think that's gonna work? I'm not sure. I see.
We must go.
They need to give us something sabotagey to do at the end.
This way. Run, Kessler. Wait till I clear a path.
Yeah, right. Yikes. Kessler's like, it's okay, I'm pretty tanky.
Same as killing defenseless women and children, is it?
Hey, buddy.
Oh, Christ.
Go. Tell him.
Faster! We're almost out!
Run into the fire.
There is the exit!
The only reason we don't know about the cyclotron that was clearly in Paris in 1942 is because the Saboteur saved the day. He blew it up. That's cool that the lighting from the explosion affects the black and white. I don't think I've noticed that before.
Now there's a sight to warm a man's heart.
My friends in London send their love. They're in your debt.
I'll know who to call if I ever need to make bail.
I'm afraid I have some bad news as well. My sources confirm that Kurt Dierker survived the explosion at the Grand Prix.
Son of a bitch!
That cockroach must have made a deal with the devil.
They won't save him this time. What's the situation on the ground?
So it makes sense why they flew us there.
Wildfire. Now the Nazis have their hands full trying to contain a citywide uprising.
Why you can't drive back to that lab during the main game.
Post to the Eiffel Tower.
Ah!
Rumor has it the bastard lost his mind.
Get me down there. This isn't over yet.
Of course he has. Of course he has. I love it. Being cheesy.
How do you feel, Mr. Devlin?
I could eat a nun's arse through a convent gate.
I see.
But I'll settle for that case of scotch.
I was wrong about you, Devlin. We'll make a hero out of you yet.
Thanks, but I made other plans.
We'll be in touch.
Angel of Death. I can't kick him out of his car.
Where are you going?
You know where I'm going.
You will need help.
No, Veronique.
That was a cyclotron.
Jules was my brother. And my parents.
Dierker will be leaving the city soon. We best get moving.
Get to the Eiffel Tower. Nice.
Sean, there's something I've been meaning to say. It's about Jules.
You don't need to say it. I can see your brother's face every time I close my eyes. I can still see his blood on my hands. And I know I won't ever forget what happened.
Stop it, Sean. You cannot go on living like this. Jules was a good man, but he was only one life. One murder among millions. This is not about my brother anymore. This is about something bigger than you or me. Can you not see that?
Yeah. I'm starting to.
Come check my paperwork.
Dig here!
No, we're not doing that. That's fair. Alarm 5. We already have Zeppelins. Cool.
Fucking hell. It's a war zone.
An uprising. This was Luke's plan all along. To help the people of this city find the courage to fight back.
Now, the Resistance can't trade punches with the Nazis. They'll be slaughtered fighting like this.
They no longer have a leader.
Bullshit. They got one. I'm looking at her.
But I don't know if I...
Yes, you can. Your people need you now, Veronique.
But what about Dierker?
Let me worry about Dierker. Basically.
Sean. I thought we'd have more time. I wanted to tell you that...
Tell me later.
I think there is a Rocketeer video game, maybe for the Super Nintendo. I don't think it's very good. Get to the Eiffel Tower. Okay. This is a long hallway. It's pretty cool. Thought it would be climbing the Eiffel Tower itself. Nazi screams.
He's killing everyone.
Oh, good. This is pretty awesome, actually, as far as long hallways go.
Looks like I missed the party.
Good choice on their part, I think. So we already did the crazy gun assault on the previous level. It would have been kind of silly to do it again. Climb further up somehow. The rare long hallway that's actually longer than the song. I know, right?
Mother Mary, protect me!
Yes. Yeah, a long elevator counts as a long hallway.
Jesus, this place is a morgue. Keep trying, mate.
Yikes.
You'll get it right eventually.
Whoa, that's pretty sweet. Nice. You've been to basically all of the significant landmarks. You gotta plant a bomb on Dierker. I guess it probably should be a fist fight, right?
Your failure is my failure. My disgrace is yours. The punishment is death. Ah!
Animal scar. Well, that's convenient.
This just isn't your day.
But these games don't really lend themselves well to boss fights, so I'm always interested to see how they pull it off.
You was the only one who ever escaped. It is fitting that you should be the one.
Red Dead does it by just having a massive horde of enemies, right?
One day,
That's the boss.
history will thank us for what we have done. Holding back the mongrel hordes while you people cowered in our shadow. You could never understand the burden of my duty.
Killing you could never make up for what I've lost. My friends will still be dead, and I'll still have to live with the things I've done.
Is that why you're here? Did you think that by killing me, you could wash the blood from your own hands?
Not exactly. Kind of just want to kill you.
Tragic. We are going to hell, aren't we, Irishman?
Maybe. But you'll get there before me.
Yeah. Really? Oh. I like
Have
that,
you lost
actually.
your nerve?
Cool. I'm glad he wasn't a crazy boss fight. You just show up and shoot him. I love it. That's pretty cool. Having it emanate from his corpse. Nice. Yeah, that was great. The previous level was the real final boss with all the terror guards and stuff.
No. It's
but I
not
really
over.
like Victory lap. We still have so many towers to take down.
Started.
Cool. This game was great. I enjoyed it a lot. Thanks again, Brutus, for putting it on your slot. For anyone who helped fill it up. I'd like to see more games like this in the future. Curious, I just want to kind of see what they do after the ending cutscene, if they just give you free open world exploration with all the side quests back or something. That guy was playing on the piano earlier when you climb the Eiffel Tower. I hate that EA did that for so long to so many studios. Buy them up, workhorse them to get one more game out that you can make a quick profit on, and then dissolve them. This game not having good reviews, I need to go back and read through them. I talked about this in the first episode, but I feel like I've said this a couple times, but it has to be just a context problem. If you put this exact same game out with the same graphics and everything today, and you priced it at like $20, like I feel like it would do way better. I mean, it's a pretty like shallow open world, but it doesn't need to have a bunch of content in it. Actually makes me wonder if open worlds have too much. Exactly. Does the existence of Rockstar games corrupt player expectations? I think the answer is yes. And it's not even that Rockstar games are particularly stellar. They do a really good job of appearing to be full of things to do. I'm much more a quantity or a quality over quantity kind of person, so. We were talking about this in Discord about Cyberpunk 2077, which has a lot of legitimate issues, a lot of really big management and corporate problems associated with that game. But on top of everything else, if GTA didn't exist, I don't think people would be approaching that game the way they are. Because, like, to me, if you like, oh, this developer made The Witcher, and now they're making The Witcher set in a cyberpunk setting, be like, okay, well, I expect it to play like The Witcher. And everyone's like, it doesn't have all of the features of Grand Theft Auto. It's like, did you think that because there was a car in the game? Why would you? That's a completely unreasonable expectation, right? Yeah, like, I'm cool. It's like, okay, it's The Witcher, but I've got a car instead of a horse. Roger. I expect a pretty decent Western RPG out of that. The core studio talent go on to other stuff. That'd be interesting. And I guess we just have to compare it to it's hard to compare launch Cyberpunk to 3 years of patches later, Witcher 3, but it was Nolan North. Yeah, I know it's not the most exciting hot take that open world Rockstar games, or even just open world games in general, are. It's not that they're bad, actually. It's just that they're shallow, actually. People have been kind of coming around to that over the past decade, I think. But if you do something like this with it, where you set your tight, authored, narrative-focused experience in an open world, and you just politely ask the player to not peek behind the cardboard cutouts that are all the buildings, right? Don't boot up the game and expect... It's not reasonable to expect that you can open every door. It's not reasonable to expect that you can play the pachinko machines, right? And I got screwed by virtue of being attached to BioWare. VA never even wanted them. I didn't realize that they were connected to BioWare. Interesting. I feel like I kind of want to play Mercenaries now. It's a similar game to this one, just in the way it's laid out. Travel speeds are limited by how fast they can load areas for you to move into. Yeah, makes sense. I think I like this a lot, though. I like this. Definitely liked it better than L.A. Noire, but L.A. Noire had the problem of also being unfinished. It's a reasonable comparison if you're just comparing the first third of L.A. Noire, which feels a bit more polished. Breath of the Wild speedruns of the game freezes because your gliding speed's too fast. Yeah, Yakuza seems to sort of do it. There aren't any Yakuza games where you can drive, right? Yeah, that's a neat way to do it. All of the side content is connected to something that is consistent with the main story. It's not something... You're not going around and collecting pigeons, right? That actually makes me wonder if the structure of this game is something that's unique to this setting, this idea. And I mentioned that we were playing Eternal Darkness, that the structure of that game is fucking awesome. Like, it's so cool to have this like framing device of this woman in a mansion reading the Necronomicon and then cutting back to these different characters and having these little episodic adventures that you flash back to. But the problem is, even though that structure is so awesome, it really only works for that story. You can't just like pick that up and port that to Doom or something, you know? So I don't know how easily you could make a Saboteur-like game that isn't this oppressed countryside that you liberate over time. I think maybe other than Earthbound, this might be the most wrong Metacritic score I've seen for a game. I'm guessing most of the games that got panned without good reason were panned because of the timing of the game and the context around them, like Earthbound. Western reviewers are like, the graphics in this are terrible. And it's like, what? Like, yes, that's correct. Mercenaries is 5 years older. I see, sure. Yakuza Zero's open world's a handful of city blocks, right? Yeah, I think that what people seem to expect from these kinds of games is Shenmue. And Shenmue costs $50 million for nothing to happen, for you to be able to talk to every townsperson and play every arcade machine and, you know, pick up the light bulb in the drawer and turn it around in your hand. Like, it's cool that it's there and it's a neat tech experience. But that sort of thing is just it's not reasonable to expect from any other game. Yakuza seems to be pretty focused on that sort of Shenmue-style minigame side content, but they found a way to streamline it a bit more, I think. Most modes of transit devs start with really fast and tune things down until the game stops hitching. Makes sense. I kind of have to... While those credits are running, I'm going to run down my games database really quick. I'm just curious if I can find... I have the Metacritic score listed on the games database tab. See if there's any that are sub 80 where I feel like that's really not fair. Barbie got robbed at a 69 Metacritic. I guess Beginner's Guide got a 76, but I don't know the context and why that got hit so hard. Such a short experience. Maybe it got hit because of the price? It's interesting when... From playing hundreds of games on stream, I've said this before, like, obviously, you know, nihilism button, you can't objectively measure anything. It's stupid to try to associate games with some score. blah, blah, blah. There's no way to quantify meaning and value, etc., etc., etc. But that said, having played so many games on stream, I can say that in general, in aggregate, Metacritic is accurate. If we're saying that a 90 or higher is like a close to perfect game, and there's some blurred lines on the edges there. There's a few things that can impact a game's score that have nothing to do with the game's quality, like the price on launch is a big one, and it seems like the context of other games released at the same time is the other big one. And then I guess the third one is if the game is super long and the first like 10 or 20 hours are solid and then it falls apart like Metal Gear Solid 5, but we haven't really played any games other than MGS5 that are that collapse that thoroughly. I don't think game price has affected my view. I mean, I benefit from playing most of these games on a pretty long time delay. Like, I paid $5 for this game, so of course I'm going to be like, this is like an 85, 86 easy, right? Maybe if I had paid $60 for it and I beat it in 9 hours and all that was left to do was blow up some towers, I might be a little bit more annoyed. But today, I feel like I would pay $60 for a 10-hour game. I would rather have a rich, authored, high-quality 10-hour experience than too little butter over too much bread, which is what a lot of these longer games feel like to me. So I guess MGS5 is one where the Metacritic seems completely wrong. That it's because none of the reviewers got far enough into the game to realize that it just completely collapses and is literally unfinished. Scrolling down the list for things that are sub 80. I guess the Game of Thrones Telltale games got like a 64 on Metacritic, which seems... They were fine, they're good Telltale games. Maybe that was Telltale fatigue. So again, it's not being really judged in a vacuum. Graveyard Keeper has a 69, and I think it's probably higher quality than that, but it's a lot more obtuse than Stardew Valley and harder to get into, so maybe that's the problem. Heaven's Vault has a 76. I think that game did that to itself. Like it feels like it's a higher quality game than a 76, but it takes a while to get to the core loop. I could see it turning off a reviewer before they even get a couple hours into it. Telltale fatigue was very real. They're just getting deals to make everything, basically. So a lot of the games that appear to have gotten bad reviews due to release context, usually it's the context of the same developer. I'm convinced without evidence that this game got burned because it wasn't Grand Theft Auto. And people weren't ready for a smaller experience with a similar playstyle. Mission complete. Oh, executioner pistol.
Felt a bit naked there.
Interesting. You just up here now? Don't have anything to say? Okay. Well, that's kind of cool. Then you can go back and do all the side quests after the main game's over. Nice. And 09 being a stacked year. Yeah. There's a stack at the bottom. That's not even Derker. That's a different... I guess that's the guy that Derker shot before. Okay. Can I climb up even higher? Like, why would it let me do that? There's a pigeon up here. Oh, cool. I guess you probably could have come here much sooner. But it works to only come here as part of the final mission, I feel like. That's pretty neat. There's contraband up here. I guess it's just a reward for having explored up top. Right on. Alright. Thank you, folks, for sharing this game. It's very cool. Whoa, God, don't do that. Stop that. Make that stop.